Hey there, friends! If you're joining us today, I'm so glad you're here. Stick around, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into something profound together. Imagine for a moment that every single experience in your life, every tear you've shed, every laugh you've shared, has a purpose. What if I told you that nothing, absolutely nothing, happens by chance? That's what Buddhism, this ancient wisdom we're exploring today, invites us to consider. It's not just a philosophy, it's a way to see the world that can bring us peace, even when life feels like a storm. So come with me on this journey of self-discovery, where we'll uncover how everything happens for a reason, and how that understanding can lead us to a calm, unshakable place inside. Let's start with something we all feel every day: change. Think about your life right now. Maybe you're in a season where everything's blooming. Your job's going great, your relationships feel solid, and you're riding high. Or maybe it's the opposite. Things are falling apart, and you're wondering when the clouds will clear. Either way, here's the truth. Buddhism hands us, nothing lasts forever. Not the good stuff, not the hard stuff. In Buddhism, they call this anicca, impermanence. And it's not just some fancy word, it's the heartbeat of existence. The seasons shift, your moods ebb and flow. People come and go, even your own body changes with every breath. It's all moving, always. Now I know what you might be thinking. Okay, change happens, but why does that matter? Here's where it gets real. We suffer, not because life changes, but because we fight it. We cling to those happy moments, begging them to stay, like gripping sand that just slips through our fingers. And when tough times hit, we push back, wishing they'd disappear. But life doesn't work that way. It's a river, not a still pond. Picture a river for a second. Does it stop because a rock's in its path? No, it flows around it, smooth and steady. Or think of a tree in autumn. It doesn't cry over its falling leaves. It lets them go, trusting spring will bring new ones. That's what Buddhism asks us to do, flow with life, not fight it. I remember a time in my own life when this hit me hard. A few years back, I lost a job I loved. I poured everything into it. And when it was gone, I was angry, lost, clinging to what used to be. I kept thinking, if I could just get it back, I'd be okay. But the more I resisted, the worse I felt. Then one day, I sat by a lake, watching the water ripple, and it clicked. This wasn't the end. It was just a bend in the stream. Letting go didn't mean giving up. It meant trusting that something new was coming. And you know what? It did. A better opportunity showed up, one I wouldn't have seen if I'd stayed stuck. That's the gift of impermanence. When we stop holding on so tight, we free ourselves. We get to enjoy the good moments without dreading their end. And we can face the rough patches knowing they're not forever. It's like shedding a heavy coat you didn't even know you were wearing. Suddenly you're lighter. Imagine sitting with a coffee in hand, watching the steam rise, not worrying about tomorrow or yesterday, just being there. Or facing a challenge, a fight with a friend, a bill you can't pay, and instead of panicking, you breathe and say, this is just a moment. It'll pass. That's peace, right there. Not in controlling life, but in moving with it. And here's the beautiful part. Every change, every shift is leading you somewhere. It's not random, that job loss I mentioned. It pushed me to grow in ways I never expected. The breakup you went through, maybe it taught you what you really need in love. Buddhism whispers to us that these aren't accidents, they're steps on a path. So as we sit here together, let's lean into that idea. What if the things you're resisting right now were trying to show you something? What if letting go could open a door you didn't even see? Stay with me, because this journey's just beginning, and there's so much more to uncover about why everything unfolds the way it does. So we've been talking about how life keeps moving, how nothing stays still, and how that's not a curse, but a chance to grow. But let's take it deeper now. If everything's changing, what ties it all together? What makes it feel like there's a thread running through the chaos? In Buddhism, they point to something powerful, cause and effect. You've probably heard of karma, right? It's not just a buzzword for good vibes or bad luck, it's the engine of this philosophy. Karma says nothing happens out of nowhere. Every moment, every experience is tied to something you've done, thought, or said. It's like tossing a pebble into a pond. The ripples spread out, touching everything. Now, don't get me wrong, karma's not about some cosmic judge keeping score. It's not punishment or reward handed down from on high. It's more like gravity, a natural law. You drop something, it falls. You act, speak, or even think a certain way, and it sends energy out into the world that comes back to you. Sometimes it's quick, like when you snap at someone and they snap back. Other times it's slow, unfolding over years, like a seed you plant that takes time to bloom. But it always leaves a mark. Imagine you're walking through life, and every step, every kind word, every bitter thought paints the path ahead. That's karma. Karma's not just about the big stuff either. It's in the small things, how you talk to yourself, the grudges you hold, the little acts of care you offer. A thought of anger might seem harmless, but feed it, and it spills into sharp words or clenched fists. On the flip side, a flicker of gratitude can shift your whole day. I tried this once, waking up and just saying, "Thanks for this coffee, this sunrise." It sounds cheesy, but it changed how I moved through the hours. That's the power here. You're not a victim of life. You're a creator. Sure, you can't control everything. Accidents happen, people leave, but you can choose how you respond, and that plants new seeds. What's wild is that karma doesn't always play out on our timeline. Ever wonder why someone seems to get away with being a jerk while you're over here doing your best and still hitting walls? Buddhism says, don't sweat it. Some seeds sprout fast, others take their sweet time. The point isn't to keep score, it's to trust the process. Like that teacher said, every choice matters. So when life feels unfair, instead of pointing fingers, we can look at ourselves, not to feel guilty, but to feel empowered. What can I do differently today? How can I plant something better? And it's not just about you, it's bigger than that. Your ripples touch your family, your friends, even strangers. Ever notice how one person's mood can shift a whole room? If you walk in with warmth, it spreads. If we all started acting with a little more patience, a little more heart, imagine the world we build. That's karma's collective side. It's why Buddhism stresses intention too. Helping someone to look good isn't the same as helping from your soul. The energy is different and it matters. So as we sit with this, think about your own ripples. What are you sending out? What's coming back? Because every choice is a chance to steer this wild, beautiful ride we're on. We've been weaving through some big ideas, how life flows, how our actions shape it. And now let's bring it home. If everything's tied together, if every ripple matters, what do we do when it hurts? Because let's be real, life isn't all smooth sailing. Buddhism doesn't shy away from that. It says suffering's part of the deal, but it's not the end of the story. The real kicker: most of our pain comes from holding on too tight. We cling to people, dreams, even feelings, thinking they'll save us. But when they slip away, and they always do because nothing's permanent, we're left aching. That's attachment, and it's the root of so much struggle. Picture this. You're in love, and it's perfect until it's not. They leave, and suddenly you're lost, like your happiness walked out the door with them. Or maybe it's your career. You tie your worth to a title, and when it's gone, you're hollow. We've all been there, right? I know I have. I used to think if I just held on harder to relationships, to plans, things would work out. But here's what Buddhism taught me. Letting go isn't losing, it's freedom. It's not about cutting ties or giving up what you love. It's about loving without chains, enjoying it while it's here and releasing it when it's time. I'll never forget this one moment. A friend of mine went through a brutal divorce. She'd built her whole world around her marriage, and when it crumbled, she was a wreck. She'd call me crying, "How do I move on when he was everything?" One day, we sat quietly, and I asked her, "What if you didn't need him to be your peace? What if you could find it anyway?" It wasn't instant, but over time, she started letting go. Not of the memories, but of the idea that she couldn't be whole without him. And you know what? She found herself again, stronger than before. That's what detachment does. It's not cold, it's brave. But letting go's only half the game. The other half? Acceptance. Life's messy. It doesn't follow our scripts. We're taught to chase goals, fight for control. But Buddhism flips that. It says peace comes when we stop wrestling with what is, not by settling, but by seeing reality clearly. Think about the last time you got mad. Maybe someone let you down or plans fell through. The anger didn't come from the thing itself. It came from wanting it different. I used to lose it in traffic, stuck behind some slow driver, fuming. Then I'd catch myself. This is happening. I can't change it. And just like that, the knot in my chest loosened. Acceptance isn't weakness, it's power. There's this old Zen tale I love. A farmer's horse runs off, and his neighbours groan. "Such bad luck!" He shrugs. "Who knows?" Days later, the horse returns with a herd of wild ones. "What a blessing!" they cheer. "Who knows?" he says. Then his son breaks his leg taming one, and they pity him again. Who knows? Sure enough, that injury keeps the son out of a war draft. Good, bad, it's all just life unfolding. We don't always see the full picture, but Buddhism says trust it. Every twist has a reason, even if it's hidden for now. So here's where it lands. Every hardship's a teacher. That fight with your boss. Maybe it's showing you patience, that lonely night. Maybe it's nudging you toward yourself. I've had my share of dark days, times I thought, why me? But looking back, those were the moments that shaped me. They burned away what didn't matter and left something real behind. It's like a fire refining gold. Pain's not the enemy, it's the guide, if we let it be. And when we stop asking, why is this happening, and start asking, what's it teaching me, that's when we grow. Mindfulness ties it all together. It's living right here, not lost in yesterday or tomorrow. Try it. Next time you're eating, really taste it. When you're walking, feel the ground. It sounds simple, but it's everything. I started doing this 5 minutes a day, just breathing, noticing. And it's like the world slowed down. Problems didn't vanish, but they stopped owning me. That's the Buddhist promise. You don't have to control life to find peace. You just have to live it fully as it comes. So friends, thanks for walking this path with me. If it stirred something in you, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment, tell me what hit home. Life's a wild ride, but everything happens for a reason. Let's keep exploring that together, finding peace one step at a time. See you in the next one.